Hello Star Citizens, Buzzkiller here, and welcome to the Dying Star map of Arena Commander. As many of you may know, CIG has been extremely busy in the past couple weeks. Not only have they released a new patch for Arena Commander, but they've also released a hotfix for the patch, and several new items to the Voyager Direct store. For the first part of this video, we're going to quickly go over the additions to Arena Commander from the patches and the hotfix. And for the second part, I'm going to demonstrate some of the new items in the Voyager Direct store using the Super Hornet here in front of you. I'm also going to take a second look at the weapons mount system that I had given you an overview of in my previous video. So starting off with the patch, last week CIG released Arena Commander version 1.0.1. In 1.0.1 they fixed a lot of the issues we've been having since 1.0 was released around Christmas time. First and foremost is the missile system. Now, the missiles have received some serious balancing. There was actually a bug in the previous patch which allowed the missiles to bypass the shield system. Now this caused the missiles to be extremely overpowered. They were able to 1- and 2-shot ships using just the missiles. You didn't have to do any damage to them prior to that, just 1 or 2 missiles and you were pretty much dead. Well, the patch has fixed that. The shields are now able to absorb some of that damage, and they've also adjusted the damage levels of the missiles a little bit. They've actually increased them, but with the shields being able to absorb some of that damage, it balances out rather nicely, and you no longer get one-shot kills on the missiles. In addition to the missiles, they've done some work on the countermeasure system. Not only have they improved the reliability of all the countermeasures, but they've also doubled the amount of countermeasures that all of the ships can carry, which is really great, and it really helps with that missile balancing. Now, some of the other fixes they've done, they've replaced the missile racks on the Hornets. Now, if you remember from the previous patch, you were only able to install 1 missile rack on the Hornets. Now that they've fixed that, you can once again, here I've deployed the missile racks, fit both missile racks. And each one, of course, holds 4 size 1 missiles, bringing the Hornet back up to a total of 8 size 1 missiles. Next up, we have some fixes to the Cutlass. Not only have they fixed a lot of the maneuverability issues that the Cutlass was having, but they also replaced the top turret. And for Arena Commander, this current version, they're allowing the pilots to take direct control of that turret so that it works exactly the same as the Super Hornet's ball turret, and that the pilot has complete control over that turret. And it has that full 360-degree arc, and they've put the weapons on them as well. So that really helps give the Cutlass some more teeth, and it's not just a big floating whale of a target out there. They also did some fixes to the Aurora HUD. The HUD had some damage state issues where the damage state was not showing up. In fact, the entire 3D model of the damage state did not show up for the most part on the map. Well, they fixed that. And they've also added some paint schemes for the buggy. So I guess this is the first version of the paint system that we are seeing. And to go with that, they've added some of those paint schemes to the Voyager Direct store for us to check out. Now, yesterday they released a hotfix to the patch, bringing Arena Commander to version 1.0.1a. Now, this hotfix was primarily for the Auroras. The Auroras were having some issues with the weapons where they would not overheat or recharge energy. Now they fixed that, and they also fixed the Aurora LN's wing weapons so that they also now recharge and dissipate heat. For the Voyager Direct store, of course, we have the paint schemes which have been added for the buggy that I went over previously. In addition to that, they've added a Ballistic Handgun, and that's for the first-person shooter module, but you also get it, if you purchase it, you can also use it in Arena Commander, and I'll show you that here in a little bit. and that's available for 10,000 UEC in the Voyager Direct store. And next is really a big deal for any Hornet pilots out there. They've released the Hornet Canard turret to the Voyager Direct store. Now the Canard turret, as you can see here on the Super Hornet, is this bottom turret, and it does move independently of the front of the ship. And that's a big deal for any Hornet owner other than of course, the Super Hornet owner, which already had this. So now those with the standard F7C, the Tracker, and the Ghost variants can now equip this Canard turret, which is a big deal because basically they were down to just their 2 wing weapons. Now they'll at least have 4, and that'll give them some teeth as well. So that brings us into the second part of the video. I wanted to go and demonstrate the Canard turret here, as well as some of the other weapon systems on the Super Hornet. Now in a previous video, my Weapons Mount 101 video, I showed you the difference between a Class 1, 2, 3, and 4 weapons mount. And of course the Class 2 weapons mount had the Class 2A and Class 2B variants. So I've gone and I've configured this Hornet to show you pretty much all of that except for Class 1, of course, which the Hornet no longer has. Class 1 being, again, the fixed mount, and all of the Hornet weapons, as you can see as I move around, are gimbaled. Now to start off on the ball turret, I've actually put a different weapon system on each of these mounts so that I can easily show the difference between the weapons. On the ball turret, I have 2 laser repeaters. On the Canard turret, I've put 2 Omni-Sky 6 laser cannons. That's here. And on the wings, I have the M4A bearing laser cannons. Now, for the sake of this demonstration, I've also replaced one of these wing mounts. On the right wing, I have the default Class 2A weapon mount, which, as if you recall from my previous video, has a very nice wide horizontal arc, but not a very high vertical arc. Now on the left wing, I've replaced that with a Class 2B mount, and I pulled that off of one of the 300i ships that I own. And the difference between that is that it has a higher vertical arc as well as a horizontal arc. And we'll show you that here in a moment. So let me go ahead and get into the cockpit. Switch on my track IR. And from here, since I have the helmet, you really can't see, you really don't have a good angle on these weapons. But I'll show you what I can from here, and then we'll go to a third-person view and really show you what they can do. But let's start off with the wing mounts. Now remember, on the left wing I have the Class 2B mount. On the right wing I have the Class 2A mount. And as I fire those, right now you see they're lined up. But as I go up, notice that the left wing actually fires a lot higher than the right wing. And that is due to that Class 2B mount, giving it that extra vertical arc, which is really useful in any dogfight situation. And next up we have the top ball turret, which has the laser repeaters. And the ball turret actually has the ability to traverse a full 360 degrees, and I'll show you that momentarily. But of course, with the helmet in my way, I can only show you to about 90. And then again, the Canard turret with the Omni-Skies on it also has quite a wide horizontal firing arc and a pretty decent vertical arc as well. Okay, let's go ahead and I'm going to use the rear view cam in conjunction with the track IR. Now I'm holding down the rear view button and I'm using my head to look around, and you'll notice that I can fire the top ball turret and it actually shoots to the rear. But if I turn my head all the way around here, can actually see the turret itself. And I'm going to show you just how far this thing can actually turn. Now I can only go to the halfway point, but let's go ahead and start off with the ball turrets here. Well, that's the wings. Okay, ball turret. As you can see, it has a pretty high vertical arc going up, and it actually goes down fairly well as well, considering it's on the top. But again, it has that full 360 degree firing arc. Now the Canard turret does not have the full 360 degrees, but it has quite a wide arc to it as well. I'm guessing probably about 200, 210 degrees total. And up and down, probably about, I'd say about 90 degrees. Up and 45 up, 45 down. And of course we have the wing mounts. Again, the Class 2B on the left, the Class 2A on the right. You can see how much of a difference that really makes. Whereas the Class 2A maybe has about a total of maybe 45, 50 degrees total. The Class 2B has almost double that, and going down as well. Look around here. But they have about the same horizontal arc. Alright. So there you have it. And that is the weapon systems and the firing arcs. So if you're planning on getting the chin turret for the Hornet, you can see about what it's going to be capable of doing. It should be a really interesting addition, a really useful addition for the Hornet pilots, the non-Super Hornet pilots. Well, I guess I forgot about the pistol, but let me go ahead and eject here. And I'm going to show you the Ballistic handgun that I purchased in the Voyager Direct store. And there it is. I really like the sights on this one because they don't, if you've noticed on the laser pistol, when you look down the sights, especially if you're focused on a distant target, you really can't make out the sights anymore. Now this thing is just as overpowered as the laser pistol. Of course the ship's the ship's pretty much gone now, so I can't shoot it and show you, but it does have its own sound and animations. Listen to this. Even has the slide. Is that cool or what? Let's go to an external view. And yes, you do have to reload it when it runs out. Let's see that from outside. There you go, he's reloaded. You can even see the shell cations ejecting. There you go. Now the downside, of course, to this is you will run out of ammo. But then again, how often are you going to be shooting at other ships with your pistol? Well, there you have it. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, go ahead and hit that like or subscribe button. And I'll go ahead and close off for now. So again, I hope you enjoyed it, and this has been Buzzkiller, and I will see you guys in the verse.